Hey, what's up guys? This is Jedith, and this video has some very important information for you as a Havoc demon hunter. As you may have seen a few weeks ago, there was an article that came out talking about embellishment nerfs that are happening for patch 10.2, which is right around the corner. It's in like 2 weeks. This means that we are going to have to consider maybe shifting around the embellishments that we have on our gear. If we look at some of these notes, a lot of the ones that you may have seen have been nerfed, right? The Frostfire belt, Fang adornments, Slimy expulsion boots, Toxic Thorn foot wraps, which are what we're using now, the Acidic Hailstone treads, which I'm using on my Evoker, Shadow Flame tempered armor patch, Spore Colony shoulder guards, Amos of the Blue. All of these have been nerfed by a substantial amount. People much smarter than me have been doing some simming, and it looks like there is a new combination of embellishments that we are going to want to use as Havoc. Basically, you're going to want to craft the Undulating Spore Cloak. Now, this one did also get nerfed, readjusted to be not as powerful as it previously was, but this is still very, very good. We'll talk about why this particular cloak works good for us in a second. So that's going to be our first one. You're able to make this now. If you are able to make it now, I highly would suggest doing that because you can get the mats kind of cheap right now, get it crafted in advance so you're ready to go. So you're going to craft the Undulating Spore Cloak, and then you're going to craft something with blue silken lining. This is an embellishment that we used back in season 1 when we were using builds that utilized mastery a bit more. Then we stopped using it because Toxic Thorn foot wraps were just so good. We're using that with the Toxified armor patch, and it was just better. Now in the new patch, we're using builds that just use mastery a lot better. We have builds that are using things like Any Means Necessary and the other talent, Chaotic Disposition, which is just making us do a lot of extra chaos damage, and any extra mastery that we can get adds to that and just really helps kind of buffer our damage. It works really well because it's triggered when you're above 90% health. So while you're above 90% health, you gain mastery. The Spore Cloak is making you very, very tanky. So when you're above 70% health, you're healing for 10k every 5 seconds. And then when your health is below 30%, the symbiotic spores embed in your cloak, granting you a shield. Shield did get nerfed a bit, but it is still essentially like pretty good cheat death, for lack of a better term, to tag onto it. And this is going to be very, very powerful for you if you're in a raiding guild. You know, the first few weeks, even months of prog, having something like this to save you is invaluable. On top of all of that, Demon Hunter is also getting a lot of buffs to its survivability. We have our Leech, we have Charred Warblades, we have the 2 new talents that we got, Demon Hide, and then we also have the one that's giving us extra verse. We also have Netherwalk. So we have a lot of things in our toolkit now to stay pretty healthy, which is going to help just keep uptime on Blue Silken Lining that much higher. You should put Blue Silken Lining on a ring. For whatever reason, rings get more mastery from this embellishment than any other slot. I don't know why. If you're able to put it on a ring, which you should be able to, you should definitely do that. I think everyone probably has at least one crafted ring. It might be in your bank, it might be sitting in your bags. Find it, rank it up to 447, put Blue Silken Lining on it, and you'll be good to go. So those are the 2 embellishments. When you craft these and you want to start wearing them, there are some things you're going to have to consider because you are replacing your cloak. If you're like me, you have your alchemical flavor pocket on your cloak, so you'll have to find another spot to put that. It's very important that you don't forget about this embellishment because even though this is like technically a 3rd embellishment, it doesn't count as one. So you can have the Spore Cloak, you can have Blue Silken Lining and the alchemical flavor pocket, and it will not interfere with those. You can use all 3. So make sure that you're replacing your flavor pocket on another piece. The other thing you need to consider is if you have the Toxified armor patch that you've been using in conjunction with your boots. If you have that somewhere like either your legs or your belt, you're going to have to take that off. You don't have to replace the item completely. You can just go to Grifta at the Obsidian Citadel, buy the Sparkling Dust or whatever it is. Just get somebody to recraft it and remove that embellishment. The other thing is you're going to have to get yourself a new pair of boots because we're no longer using Toxic Thorn foot wraps. So you can try to get something from your vault. We have a couple more weeks of vaults coming up. So if you see a good pair of boots, make sure you take them. Get something from Raid. Even something from Mythic Plus, it'll do just fine. I happen to have a pair of boots that I've been holding on to, 447 crit mastery with avoidance boots, so I'll just be using those, and those are going to replace the Toxic Thorn foot wraps. I do recommend that you make these changes sooner rather than later because prices are going to skyrocket as more people kind of catch on that they need to make these changes. Prices are going to go through the roof, so buy them now. Buy these mats, buy your blue sulking linings, craft your spore cloaks, get your flavor pockets. Those are going to skyrocket, I can promise you, because everybody needs them. So buy them as low as you can now, and yeah, get all of this taken care of before the patch actually hits, so you're not scrambling to get it done. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like this video. There are going to be more videos coming out over the next week or so, talking about builds, rotation guides, all the new stuff you need to know for the brand new Havoc rework that's coming your way very shortly. All right, thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace.